There's another Zergling dying. And a sunken colony now going up for effort, and that's going to slow that down. Looks like an evolution chamber is also on the way up for effort here too, so we might be seeing some sunken and spore defense, because the Mutalisks are already out for Yarnak, and they're going to take out that Overlord too. So now effort is going to be in the dark, but it is pretty predictable. It's going to be mostly Mutalisks and Scourge coming out for Yarnak here to capitalize on his early air advantage. And there's these spore colonies going up for effort. And a lot of these Zerg versus Zerg games have taken the same tack here. And typically it has been the person going for the spore colonies that's been losing it, at least in these couple of best of sevens. So this is not looking like a good trend for Effort, who might lose a second Overlord, but Effort has instead opted to just counterattack with a horde of Zerglings. If he can take that sunken down, he can maybe effect some damage before those Mutalisks clean up. The sunken's down, but so are the last of those Zerglings. But can Yarnak actually afford to put another sunken colony back up there? And if this Zergling harass continues, can he afford not to? This is really tense, very interesting. This is going to put a lot of stress on both of these players' decision-making abilities, and this is a very exciting Zerg versus Zerg game. Still some lone Zerglings running around, chasing drones and causing havoc in the base of Yarnak, and now under the cover of these spore colonies, it looks like Effort is going to be able to amass an air force, but at the same time Yarnak's air force is on the way over to Effort's base. It's going to be about timing. When are these units going to pop? It's not an air force at all. It's more speedlings on the run, and they are going to be able to do some damage over at Yarnak's base. It looks like Effort is going pretty much all in lings here, and this is a risky move, but it could pay some dividends. A couple of drones picked off, and now Yarnak has got Zerglings of his own to defend against Effort's harassment, so eventually Effort's going to make the switch to an air army, I would have to think, but in the meantime, just a very tense, even game. Critically though, Effort has managed to keep that hatchery operating and is mining off of that second base. He is, however, still only on one gas, so it's not as big of a deal. So still, I'd say Effort is slightly ahead, having managed to defend the early pressure on that expansion, and having probably traded about equal amounts of drones with Yarnak. Here's the first-person view of Effort, and he's finally got some Mutalisks out. Yarnak has some Mutalisks of his own off the north end of Effort's base. Zergling's also on the way over for Yarnak. This is going to be really tense, because yeah, these Mutaling attacks can be deadly, as we've seen in previous games in these playoffs. Not very many drones over at the main for Yarnak, though, only about 4. So apparently Yarnak has taken bigger economic damage than I had thought, or I had just missed something. Here's the attack on that Sunken. That Sunken is looking like it's going to get cracked, or no, Effort just barely holds that Sunken. It's got about 4 hit points, and now those Mutalisks finally clean it up, but not before it's taken out all of those Zerglings. Effort holds his position. He has 1 Zergling in, harassing drones, and he might get some kills. He's already gotten 1 on it, and no, those drones are able to defend, but Yarnak has so few drones. He's down to only 6. He's got 3 on minerals, 3 on gas. Any more drones that he pumps, those are going to be larvae that aren't fighting units, and more Zerglings for Effort coming in to just continue this drone killing harassment. Don't know if they got any more there, but this is going to be really difficult for Yarnak. Yarnak's advantage is the bigger air force. He has to do something with that quickly before Effort can equalize it. And Effort's equalizing that air force has been slow because he's going for these ling harasses, but the fact that he's been getting drones has meant that he can get away with doing this. And those 3 spore colonies are also going to be really helpful. Now Effort's got Mulus in the air, he's picking off some Overlords, and it looks like the numbers are roughly even. Maybe Effort is a Mulus or two behind. With the mining hits that Yarnak's been taking, I imagine we're going to be starting to see more Scourge from him, and that's also going to make the matchup more micro-dependent in this last stage as we await that big air battle that's going to decide not just this game, but which team advances. The pressure is on these players to perform at peak, and we're going to have to see if there's going to be some inspired micromanagement or what that's going to carry these players to victory. It looks like in the initial skirmish, Yellow is getting the better of it, but Effort, in fact, just luring him in. Yellow knows he's not going to manage this. GG from him. Holy crap. What an exciting finish to this playoff series. 13 games of build-up to this one game that meant everything. And with all the marbles on the line, Effort playing some very solid ZVZ to clinch it for CJ Entis, who are going to go on to face the winner of Con versus STX, which has been going on in parallel. This is a whole lot of commentating for me, and while I wanted to do all of this and the STX Con, that was just too much for one man to handle. CJ has just scored this immense victory, and aside from that one guy smiling, just not reacting at all. And this is the one thing that I think annoys people about CJ, the stoic CJ Entis face. But maybe once they're off camera, they'll be a bit less reserved in their celebration, just like I was hopefully a bit less reserved in my commentary of that game. Thanks very much for watching, everybody. And again, tomorrow night I'm going to be live casting Heritage League Day 4, including a game between Savior and Nalra. I'm going to be dual casting that with weapons left. And if you're awake at that hour, it's I think 5:30 in the morning Eastern Standard Time. So it's a little bit tricky for people in North America to make that. If you happen to be awake, feel free to catch us. We'll probably be on SE2GG's Ventrilo server doing that. And as well, you can look forward to some more Pro League stuff from me. That CJ versus STX or Samsung is something I'm probably going to do. I just don't know when. I'd really like to get the games out really quickly after they're done, but it's a little bit tricky for me now, especially with my schedule getting more filled with schoolwork. But I'll see what I can do for you guys. If I decide to, or if I happen to find myself in a procrastinating rut, chances are you'll find me putting out videos, because this is a great way to not do schoolwork. Thanks very much for watching all of these. I hope you've enjoyed all of these playoff games so far, and especially this last one, which was balls out intense. Thanks again for watching. Leave comments if you have them. If you don't have a comment, think of one so you'll have one anyway. I really do appreciate getting some more feedback so that my commentaries can improve. And if you guys don't give me those comments, I'm probably just going to try to truck on as normal and just try to address the things that I pick up on, and I'm not going to pick up on everything. So again, if you have a comment, I'd really like to hear it. Just, I guess, keep your tone constructive, and I'll be seeing you soon. Image signing out for the night. Good night, everyone, and thanks again.